Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. What's his message? Hi, Dan. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is super recent. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Yeah, I missed you guys. I always miss you guys. I would like to thank everyone, all of my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers, those that have been there from the beginning. Thank you. I always thank and appreciate you. For without you, there would be no journey. All of my new followers, enjoy the ride. This is a place where you'll hear some inspirational stories and business entrepreneurs, you name it. We have it here on Tea Time with Bunky. So like, share, follow, and subscribe. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky, this Tea Time with Bunky on VGN app. Go download the VGN app where you can hear Tea Time with Bunky in over 200 countries globally. And it's powered by Zeno FM with additional online supports by Radio Music Box. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky on Saturdays on the DuPont Network. So I got that out of the way. Everybody know that elections are coming up. Elections are coming up. Even though this isn't Political Tuesday, I need to let you guys know that the early voting starts on October 26th. Go to your county government pages, download your ballot, boom, boom, boom. Remember, as I keep saying, flip the ballot over. You can't see it on here, but flip the ballot over where you will see Proposition 1, which is for you to go and vote for. Go look up Proposition 1 so you will know what is going on. Mail-in ballots have already started. So for those that want to do your early voting already, go drop off your voting ballots. It's very important. It's very important for everybody to get out there and get their voices heard. Vote for the candidate that speaks to you. When I say speak to you, have a platform that resonates with you. One more thing before I bring my special guest on and announce her. If you have a story you want to tell that you think is a Tea Time with Bunky story, hit me up on Messenger, Facebook, YouTube, or hit me on my email, which is scrolling below, teatimewithbunky@gmail.com. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, Miss, I hope you don't get mad, I'm saying her real government, Veronica Gonzalez. They call her Vero G. She is an incredibly inspiring. She's incredibly inspiring. I'm like excited for her. She's an author, an artist, host of the Vero G Spotlight Radio Show. Y'all go to YouTube and check her out. She has turned her trials and tribulations to sharing her journey as a domestic violence survivor, rape victim, and foster care child in her moving autobiography, Trials and Tribulations. Her story of overwhelming trauma and finding strength through faith will not only inspire you, but remind you of the power we all have to rise above our circumstances. So I am excited to have her. Where did she go? She was just in. There she go. Where did she go? Hey, Chris, welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you.
This whole segment has me, I'm like, I don't have my tissues. I don't know what's going to go down. I hope not, but thank you. So tell everybody, please, a little bit. Did you mind that I use your government?
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I didn't want to offend you. I'm like, okay. So tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, definitely not a problem. So no problem. So pretty much, you know, I am an author. I am an actress. I am, you know, artist, recording artist as well. And pretty much I'm like a little bit of everything. I just try to do what I can to do my thing, but also at the same time help other people along the way. So I just try to, you know, a little bit of everything in that sense. So yeah, it's a lot.
So I guess we're gonna get into some of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What before we're gonna do like a little thing here, so just follow my lead. What led you to this book? Like, first of all, to put all your business out there. When I saw what it was about, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, she's really gonna talk about this. So what made you? Well, first of all, I didn't tell you before, my condolences on the loss of your mom. I saw that, but not to make you cry, just needed to tell you that. Let's get into this journey of this book, Trials and Tribulations.
Awesome. Yes. I actually have the book. I don't know if you guys can see it. Well, the screen, you know how it's kind of, yeah.
Oh, move it back. Move it. Yeah, up. That what to the left?
Okay,
there you go. Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Oh yeah, the screen is like so yes, this book is definitely worth definitely checking out. How the book came about was I to some of what you mentioned before, I've gone through so many things in my life from my past. From my childhood, it was a dysfunctional childhood. And, you know, going through that point into my teens, as you all know, we all go through those situations and phases.
Right.
I encounter a lot of things, and even through my adulthood. So it talks about a little bit of everything there in the book itself, but also how this book came about was, it was a couple of years ago. I think everybody has a calling in life. And with this, definitely. And with this book, I felt it was time for me to finally express my trauma, my situations, to not only just put it out there for my people to know about, but I think it's also to inspire somebody or make them understand that they're not alone through what they also have encountered in life.
Right.
Just name just to name some of the stuff, as you mentioned on the show here, I've encountered. As you know, I am a domestic violence survivor, a rape victim. I am also prior to that, I am also was in the foster care system many years ago. I also was homeless and pregnant many years as well. So I've encountered some of the things I mentioned on here. And there were times where I wanted to kind of like exit up, and something told me not to. And I tried. I'm not gonna lie to you, with you readers and listeners watching right now. There were times I want to just say, that's it, I'm giving up. I've been through enough. I don't know why I keep going through these moments in my life. Why am I being pushed? Why am I being tested? Why am I going through all these ordeals? And I'm such a great person. I do good. And why, you know? And I realized later on, I was looking back at this whole ordeal, I come to realize that I was here for a reason and a purpose. And what I mean by that is that we all go through certain situations to be tested without faith in God. And I felt like what I went through, it was something to be to others to be heard, to others to hear that testimony, to know that if I went through these worst situations and I'm still here to talk about it, that if I could take one person or a few people that could hear my story today and take or gain something from it and understand that, wow, she went through all that and she's still here, she's still motivating other people, inspiring them, then I think that's my message across with this book as well, is that no matter what you've gone through in life as a child or a teen or adult, I think we all learned these lessons in life and utilize that, not for a negative point, but use it for a positive note.
You know, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back. I told you, right? Listen, what you just said, I say that all the time, and people don't understand it. I say that what I went through, this is after I got through it. Yes. Like, Lord, it wasn't for me. It was for somebody else, you know. And you are a living testimony. You're talking about what you went through. First of all, I don't know how you're able to say all of that well, yes, I do, it's God, without crying and just, you know, what happened? Like the DV situation.
Yes.
For those that don't know, DV. So we don't have to say exactly what it is. Like, were you young when you got into that situation? Like, was it a relationship or was it family? Like, what was that? What was that about?
Yes. How I first encountered with this many years ago, actually was a child, and I also saw my home. So it was already kind of like new to me a little bit in that sense, the family and that sorts. When I saw at my own home with my own parents years ago, and I thought that was love at the time. So later on in life, I encountered my own personal experiences with my child's father, and we were together for 5 years. And how it came about in the beginning, you know how all men are, they're sweet, I love you, all the sweet things you could, whatever, and it was fine. But the flags started to show up later on, and how that came about
when
was
you say flags, tell the women out there what a flag looks like, because they won't know. They think it's love.
Oh
So
no,
what's a flag?
not a problem. Okay, so what a red flag, or the signs they call it, is pretty much the controlling. They want to like gaslight you. The point where they want to be possessive with you. Things of that nature, with the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse, the emotional abuse, or the physical abuse. It's different ways that it's small little traits of that leads to the big parts later on. And if you don't see that, like, if your man is texting you crazy times in a day, like, wait a minute, let me just go to the supermarket. Let me, do what I have to do. And that's already a flag. Another one is, if you're wearing a certain outfit outside, he's telling you, oh no, don't wear that. I want you to wear this, that's kind of part of that, because he's already like trying to mold you in his own way. It's a lot of other situations, and the physical and all that's later on, but it's just those signs that I think you need to see. And if I mentioned this earlier in my life, but I mentioned here, I think the thing is your gut's instinct never lies. If you feel something's not right and you're gonna overlook it thinking, oh, he's cute, I'll give him a pass. Don't, because later on it's gonna get worse if it continues.
And we're seeing that unfold on TV right now. We're watching it right now as we speak. And I'm sorry that you went through that. I'm really sorry that you went through that. What gave you the strength? That's it. The strength to finally say enough is enough. Like, did you try several times, or was it just one good time and you were like, I'm done, I'm over this? How did that? Because for some women, they stay in it for a lifetime and people judge them. I don't know why you did that. So what was it where you knew that was enough? What was that line?
It had to take me a while to take that initiative and take that next step. And how that came about was pretty much, I was my child's father for years, and the abuse, it got worse when my child was in the scene, and he had to see the physical interactions and the yelling and screaming. And that's when I started realizing that this is not healthy, because I don't want my child to see this and think that's normal. I seen it as a kid, and I don't think that's normal for him. So what's the breaking point was where this one situation I mentioned in the book, I think, and I mentioned where my child's father entered my apartment at the time, and we had a big fight, and it led to the point where he almost killed me in front of my own son. And he punched my back of my head. He punching, and I was out cold. And I literally woke up, maybe, I don't know how long was that, because I was afterwards. He stormed out. He took my phone. He stormed out. I never forget that moment with my son. He was no older than 2 years old. He remembers this. He's 19 this year. He's 19. And I remember he told me, he kept calling me, Mom, wake up. And I woke up. My face was swollen. Blood was coming out. My mouth, I was in out of it. I couldn't remember what happened. Luckily, by the grace of God, I took my son. I lived in the 5th floor at the time. Ran downstairs. I called my mom at the time, and she told me to go to her house. I went there. She saw me. She was just in awe. I had to go to the priest the next day, file a report, do the whole proceedings, get a restraining order, did everything. And it was a process. It was a process. It was hard, because then at that moment, I didn't feel safe in my own home. So I had to change the locks. I had to report this with my management at the time I was living at, and they knew what was going on. And it really affected me a lot. It took me years. Even now, I'm getting therapy, but it took me years to heal through all that.
Are you all right now?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yes. Okay, because I don't want you to feel okay.
Just fine.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
It was your son that saved your life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank God you listened to that voice, and because he showed you who he was, and the next time you might not have been here, And you said you went and you reported it, because I heard a situation recently about a woman who was going through a DV situation, and she went to the police, and she actually had to go to several police
Oh
stations
my
because
God.
they didn't take her cries seriously, basically. But she went to the right station, and yeah, it's crazy because if they don't see it,
The
okay, you
abuse,
don't
right?
see it at this moment. Not saying that it wasn't there. But the fact that she eventually, I don't even know how many years, it was years that she went through this abuse. She finally chose herself, basically, over what that dude was. I hate abusers. Oh God, I just get such cowards. Did he get locked up? Did he get locked up?
With this situation, they didn't find him. He was an incognito, so I didn't know where he was living at. He just left afterwards.
Oh, so he ran away like cowards do.
Right, but they eventually, I believe, I went to courts every 3 months, temporary order protection, did the whole proceedings and everything. I changed my license, did everything. I tried to, like, he did try to get a hold back to me, and I was like, listen, you should leave me alone. Don't text me nothing. So eventually, the court, to my understanding, they just dropped it because I just stopped going because I said there's no point. They're not gonna get him. And eventually, I had to keep my surroundings. I had to keep looking around, make sure I was fine. And then down the line, like I think a year or so later on, he did want to see his son. So out of that, I had to be cautious. So
right.
I had to be somewhere public, and I had to keep an eye on him. But everything was fine. But as we speak, we're not like best friends. I keep my distance, keeps his distance. He just contacts his child, and that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough when there's kids involved.
Right. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, that's the difficult part because he wasn't abusive to him, right?
No, he was a sweetheart with him, but it was just me that he took it out on me.
Or yeah, that's rough. That right there is rough. And the fact that your son remembers it,
Yes.
he remembers what happened. So I wonder when he looks at his dad, if that's like a trigger, because my kids bring up my oldest brings up a lot of things that he saw when he was young, things that you don't think they see, and things they're like, oh, a child, they're not going to remember that stuff, but they remember everything.
Exactly.
They do. They remember everything. Let me take this before we go into my next question. Let me take this quick little break. really, really quick.
Okay.
And we're back. That was quick, right? I didn't even have a chance to look down. Right?
But it was fast.
That was real fast. Oh, let me tell the people that they can catch you on Instagram at official Vero G.
Yes.
On Instagram. And WhosNextNYCRadio.com.
Oh, okay. So that's what I usually do with Sundays, but that's what the Vero G Spotted Radio gets aired at on that site, so they could check it out there. It's every Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so you guys can check there. That's where it's at. You can hear it audio and I think video, but I think it's audio for now.
Okay. Yeah. I just had to throw that plug in there to you.
No,
okay. So what was the situation that brought on the homelessness? Because people don't understand. If you're living from paycheck to paycheck, you're one paycheck away from homelessness. People don't want to say they're like, oh, you're 3 or 4 paychecks away. No, you're one paycheck, and that can happen to anybody.
Very
so
true.
what was the situation behind that?
How that came about, that was so during the time I was with my child's father, I was going to school at the time, and I ended up just kind of like running away. I was 18 years old at the time, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to be with him. I love him. Well, that's said and done. So during that time frame, he was living in a rented room, and unfortunately, he was thrown out. And that was my first ever experience being homeless. And we've encountered within like 6 months and change, we've gone through the whole ordeal, which is pretty much going to crackheads' houses to sleep on the floor of the nights, sleeping at the park benches, going to the emergency rooms where we would act like we were waiting to be seen, but we will stay there for the night. It was safe. There were times, yeah, I think it was like survival mode. I learned through all this I went through with him. And then the part with being pregnant, that was we were homeless at one time, and then we found a place, and then we ended up like a little moment where I went to my mother's for a bit, and then we're back to him, and then back in the street again. And at that time, we were at the homeless shelter, and that didn't last too long because we had a lot of fights there, and the abuse was happening there as well. So it was a lot.
Let me ask you, when did the abuse start in this relationship? When did it start? Like how long? Couple of months? Couple of years? Like how?
It happened around after 6 or 7 months into the relationship. He didn't really show that side yet. He was more like the sweetness, the honeymoon. They call it the honeymoon
thing. Yeah, where you look like, oh, they really love me. He want to make sure.
Like, oh, hey, exactly. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, this sounds too good to be true, but now I realized it was.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how that all came down to later on. The real true side of him and everything that came out.
Did you meet his family?
Huh?
Did you meet his family?
That's funny. During the time, he wasn't really to my understanding, his parents passed away. Okay. But to my understanding, he was not really too connected with his family, his mother's side or father's side. But like 1 or 2 people he will talk to on a regular basis. I did meet his uncle. We were able to stay with his uncle for a little while as well. And that was pretty much it. But he was very more to himself.
No brothers and sisters?
He had a brother, but he was in jail. Was in and out of jail. Yeah.
Oh. So he had a traumatic childhood his own self.
Yes. I heard when I got with him, which I didn't judge him, but he told me his father was very abusive to him at a very young age. And he remembered at a very young age as a toddler that he would like beat on him with a belt and throw him around. It was a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, oh my God. But I didn't really judge him because that was his father's action to him. Yeah.
Right. But as you see, our kids learn from our role models, Yes. So you had, when you was going through this, did you have anybody to talk to? Or did you try to keep it to yourself? Because you were in the foster care system for a little. How long were you in the foster care system?
Well, that was a little earlier before that situation.
Yeah, I was when you were young.
No,
like how long were you in there?
For 18 months. Like a year and a half.
So look, I'm like, oh, that's nothing. 18 months is a long time when you're a kid. It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not nothing. So okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard things about the foster care system. My family were foster. I come from my grandparents, my aunts, all foster parents. So like when I hear the ugly of fostering, I don't get it. I don't understand because I've seen great foster parents, So what was like that like? The worst thing that happened was they had to go to church. They didn't like that. They
right, pretty much.
They had to go to church. But what was that experience like?
To my understanding, it was very new to me, so I was kind of shocked and still denial. Like, why would I go through this process at that time? I was like around 15 to 16, and it was during that time I was like delicate during my teenage years and that sorts. So it was new, and nothing. Thank God, nothing really bad happened to me. But there was a situation which you guys will be the first to know. Nobody knows. I think actually I did talk about a book, but I'm gonna talk to you here in your show.
Oh, an exclusive.
Right. There you go. There you go. He's like my foster brother, you could say, or how they call it. He was younger than me. He was like, I think 10 or something at the time. I was like 15. And there was an instance where one time I was in my room and he has no room at the time. And he came into the room and he thought I was sleeping. And he tried to do something to me. I can't say too much, but
no. I get it.
And luckily, I think by the nick of time, he ran out the room because he was gonna get in trouble. And Yeah. So
and he was 10.
He was like, I think 9-ish or 10. He was like around that, but he was curious. That I do know. And at that time, I was a virgin. Even till then, I didn't know anything. So I was just going through my own emotions with my mother, my father, and the whole ordeal, the family situation. And nobody knew about this. Nobody knew. I kept this to myself. So imagine holding that for many years and thinking, you know, did he violate me? Like, because he never penetrated. It never happened. But
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah. It's crazy how you know deep down inside that he violated you, but you want to try to you question yourself. I think that's the victim in a lot of us. If we go through something, you know, like it's shameful, you know, but you didn't do anything wrong. And he was a little boy, and it's probably stuff that he learned, you know, stuff that he learned. And who knows, like, do you know how long he was in the system?
After I left at home, I went back to my mom's, and I think he was still with them for a little while, but I don't know if he ever got placed to another home where he was. I don't know the whole. Since then, I haven't spoken to them. I left them alone after all that. I wanted to just be a new chapter. I cannot. Yeah.
Well, I pray he found some healing and didn't continue on that terrible journey that he was on, because he was headed for a road with a brick wall at the end of it, basically, if you kept that behavior up. How are you doing today? Do you feel as if you healed, or are you still? How are you doing today?
No, not a problem. I think right now I'm still going through my phases right now. I'm now finally getting therapy. For all these years I went through everything, I think, and I have an amazing big shout out to my therapist. She is phenomenal. I overcame a lot, and I'm still going through it, you know. And I just recently had another domestic violence situation, but with family. So it came, and I have PTSD. So it's just like the trigger came right back up, and I was like, I always pray to God. I said, listen, I don't know how much I could keep handling this, but thank God I get to I have people that my immediate family that do care and support, and manage to, see I'm okay. I have great friends that, always check on me, and I just take it one day at a time. Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back in 1 second. And we're back. I'll just say right after this.
It's fine.
No, I know it's funny, right? I am so sorry that you experienced that. That wound was open. Good Lord. The book, I mean, we're gonna get past the book. We're gonna get into your other stuff. So I can tell right now we're gonna do a part 2. If you're
okay. Ooh, it sounds good, right?
Okay. So how did the journey of this book start? Like, how was it something you learned in therapy? Because I learned in therapy, people say journal. So was it through journaling? Like, what brought on this book?
Yeah. So okay. So there was like around it had to be over 2 or 3 years ago, more than that. And one day I just sat down and I was thinking of a lot of things I went through when I was going through it. And one day, I guess it was like calling. Someone told me to do this, and I decided. And I
hear it. Something in your spirit was saying, "Do this."
Yes.
Well, we know what that was right there.
Oh yeah. Definitely. No, definitely. So with that in mind, I said, you know what? Let me finally just do this. And I think I want to, and also I just wanted to finally get it off my chest and heal. That was the main thing. So with that in mind, I did on my own. I put it together. When I read back, how to proofread and all the, the writings and that. And when I looked through it, I was like, wow, I went through a lot. And this is a great way for me to heal. And I think it was a great way for now, when the book is out now, but people get a chance to buy it or support it or check it out. They're going to see, definitely, they're going to see pretty much the whole aspect of what a person goes through in their whole lifetime and how they manage to get out of it, how they manage to overcome that. So I think it was something that it was really needed for me to be done. And at the same time, I want people who get a chance to look at it to be inspired by it and to be motivated.
Yeah, because for somebody to go through all of that and still
Yes.
be here to talk about it, and you're not there's a couple of things that could have happened, to you. Like you said, there were times it was so bad. People don't understand when you had that mindset, like this pain is so bad, I just want it to stop. Like people don't get that. People like, well, nothing is that bad. Yes, it is. And you're not thinking about the people around you because it's not about them,
Right.
actually. And that's what people don't understand. Like this right here, what I'm going through is not about you. This is about me. And this is what I'm dealing with. But God had a purpose for you and a calling. That's why it didn't happen. You went through all of that heartache and pain so that you could tell that next little girl or that next woman, look, this is what happened to me. God brought me through it. Not saying that that's everybody's story, because it's not. And there's no judgment. Not on my, I'm like, look, it is what it is. I don't know how much you can bear. I don't know how broad your shoulders are, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here because you're amazing. You are. I'm telling you, people need to go to your YouTube page and
Thank
look.
you.
I mean, like you're talking to some of everybody, doing some of everything. I love it, and your energy is wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What message do you hope that your readers take away from trials and tribulation? Because once they read it, if they get, well, first of all, let me ask you, when you started writing this book, did you start from the middle? Because sometimes, you got to have a starting point. Did you start from the middle, or did you just start from the beginning? How did that go for people that want to write their story?
Yeah, definitely. I think honestly, the best thing, I did it from the very beginning.
Okay.
Because I felt like people needed to know more about not just like the bad part, but need to know everything, the whole aspect. And I think the beginning will show people, okay, how it came about, who she is, and then down the line, how does all these situations encountered through her life, but then at the same time, how did she manage to deal with it, and also, do it in the way that she did it, so it could guide people. Like, wow, this is amazing. Like she went through this, and like my whole life, it was not always bad. I had a good moments in my life. I had,
Right.
So I want people to
and you're a mom.
Right. So I want people to know, like, it was not always sad every day,
Right. No.
Yeah. I had some good moments in my life, but
you probably had more good than bad. But this is just something that you went through. So people don't think that her life was just horrible. Or no, it's not like that. It's life. Life was life, and basically that's what it was doing.
Yes.
That's what happened. Okay, so you mentioned to me how your faith played a major role in overcoming some of your challenges.
Yes.
Can you talk about a little bit how the faith guided you when you were in those dark times? Like what was that like?
Yeah, sure, not a problem. I was not really much of a spiritual person in like early in my years. I was like I did know there was God, and that was pretty much it. And I did go to church on Sundays and that sort of when I was very young. And give me 1 second. I'm so sorry for that.
No, it's all right. This is live. This is what happens.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, things happen. No. So back to saying, okay. So I did go to Sunday school at times when I was a kid, and I do go to church of my own after, like as an adult and stuff, but not all the time. So how the spirituality came about was when I went through situations.
Right.
And I was more than ever like getting closer to God. I was starting to get that relationship with him. And
that's the key word, relationship, right there.
Yes,
that's the word, relationship. Okay.
Yes. And it took me years because, I always question, like, why am I going through these things? Like, why, but then when I see that there were times that I could have been really hurt bad, or I could have been in a worse situation, I always appreciate it, and I always thank him, and I always talk to him privately, even till now, even things that I've gone through then, and even now, I always now have a stronger form of relationship with him with that. So how it came, definitely. So how it came about with that, it was just those situations in my life at those times, and then the part that really was the most I had been affected when I was last year, I think over a year ago, I didn't even know it. I was actually pregnant. and I unfortunately lost the child. So that right there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Going through all
you went through it. You went through it.
I don't know. I'm telling you, God is good.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Definitely. And I still go through it. So I have my days where, you know, I just want to be alone and that, and it's okay. But prior to that situation, even until now, I realized God was always there. And I tell you no lie. People, if they don't believe in God, listen, God does exist. He does make miracles, and he shows signs, and he show you things. If you will be attentive and you listen and you work on in his mission, or whatever you want to call it, he will show you beautiful signs and blessings. And even though definitely, and even going through what I went through with that, and then that was just another trial or another situation I went through. And then when my mom's situation happened this year, that hit me hard, because it was like she was the only living parent I had. So it was like going through what I went through, and then now this, and then the family drama I had along with that, and people from the family were attacking me, and I'm like, and then they all just cut me out, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not even cool. Like, how I was there for you people, but then when my mother was on her deathbed, they were already attacking me on social media. I went through it all. They were attacking me on my page. They were attacking me everywhere. It was getting to a point like my PTSD was getting really bad, and I had to tell my therapist. I went through so much, and it was just a couple of months ago. So, yeah. Luckily now everything subsides so far for now, but I had to get legal action behind this because it was getting out of hand.
All right, wait. 1 second. We're going to take this quick second break.
Okay.
And we're back. Welcome back. You know, death pulls out a really ugly side in death can tear a family apart.
Yes.
Which is crazy, where it should bring people together. It should bring people together, but it doesn't. And we don't have to go into at all what happened with your mom. That's so fresh. But yeah, you mentioned your relationship with God, and people, okay, I want to say this and not get in trouble. Okay, I grew up in a very religious family. Okay. I mean, hardcore, right? And as I've gone through my lifing, I backed away from the church, the building, right? But I found that my relationship with God has never been stronger, you know. So when people ask me, you know, well, what religion, I'm always going to identify as apostolic Pentecostal. That's who I am.
Right.
But I'm a spiritual being. I'm spiritual. It's about my relationship with God. And he carried you, from what I'm seeing, he carried you through the ditches, from the underbelly of ugly. Hey, Ruth. So I thank God that God. I'm so sorry you went through all. We're gonna get lighter. Trust me. We up this lighter stuff. We gotta get through it. What role does your spiritual life play now? How do you incorporate your spiritual life?
Oh man, I think yeah. Oh my God, it plays a huge role now. You know, even back then I wasn't really too much into it. I was into God, but now after all that I went through, even now, I think the relationship with God is first and foremost big for me. You know, second of all, I think everybody is. I'm into the spiritual other side as well. Nothing bad with that, but I think the light work, as they call it, right? So what I mean by
I believe in that.
Okay, so you know, so are you okay?
No.
So, yes, and I think everybody has to understand. We all have protection. We all have angels. We have people of those elevations, they call it, that are protecting us. Right. And I felt like going through the spiritual awakening I went through a couple years ago. And I this is nothing when I add on the show as well. There was like, I think 2 years ago, and I had a situation where I almost overdosed. And
really?
Yes.
You went through it. God,
I'm telling you, God is good. I luckily, no, it's okay. let me tell you something. God was good that night because I just said, excuse my French, F it. And I took something.
Oh, so this was intentional. This was intentional.
Yes.
Oh, you.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And at that time, I was just going through a lot. And at that time, I just said, you know, I'm done with it. I've been through these years. Nothing's changing. This and you know, everything else. And eventually, that night, God was good. He said, no, it's not your time. And whatever I took, I threw everything up. I didn't go to the hospital, thank God, but I had to stay in the house for a little while, drink a lot of liquids, and just, I was monitored, thank God, you know, here with my blood pressure and everything. And I tell you, I said, that's why I said, and I made a vow to God. I said, listen, God, if you want me here, and he made it that mission that night, that you're not going to be gone yet. You're here for a reason, a purpose. And let me tell you something, definitely. And let me tell you something, with that night, when I revived out of that situation, and I said, I begged, I went down the floor on the knees, and I said, God, thank you for giving me another chance. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to serve you. And I swear to God, to this day, I marked this day, it was almost 2 years ago, and I'm here, I was working, proof that God does exist for a reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Did you, Joe, that's like really heavy. Like, you're going through a lot. And just know, though, you're not the only one that's gone through that. So don't feel like you're alone in that. There, people look at me and just think, Bunky's so happy and she's just, you know, that's just like, no, not all the time. I've been where you are.
Oh, wow.
I've gone through counseling. I went to school for it, actually. Oh, wow. I had I call it the devil angel conversation. I never forget it. A lot of people in my family don't know this. My kids know this because I've told them this story. It was a Thanksgiving. I was going through my depression. It was a Thanksgiving. I sent them away. Like, most of the family was at my aunt's. I didn't want to go because I was in that mood and nobody knew it. And I heard the angel on one shoulder. I literally heard the conversation with the angel here and the devil here. I heard the conversation while I sat on the edge of my bed. And I was like, Bunky, you just can't do this no more. Thank God the angel won in the conversation because I was that close. So, like, you don't know, like, you didn't know you would hear that from me. It just always appears like everything is always so good, and it's not. You know, we all go through trials. We're all here. God kept us here for a reason. And look, you have your show. I have my show. We're sharing stories and everything to encourage and uplift somebody else so that they know I'm not alone in this, you know, and I'm not crazy. This isn't all in my mind. There's somebody else going through this, and we're going to go through it together.
That's a beautiful thing. Wow. Well, I'm happy you're here.
yeah, I am too. But I just wanted you to know that, yeah, you're not alone. You're not the only one who have felt like that. And you know what? Depression is an ongoing thing. It's not a quick fix. And people need to understand that depression also isn't, oh, well, I'm feeling sad. So for those that are feeling this way, reach out to call somebody. I don't have the mental health crisis number, but 911 or whatever, when you're feeling like this and you feel like there's nobody to talk to. I felt like, even though I come from a large family, but I come from a religious family, I felt like there was nobody to talk to. But I talked to God in that moment, and those two was having a debate about my life right there. They was having it. They was having it. And I almost gave in. I almost gave in. But you know what? God is good. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Welcome back to Tea Time with Bunky. That was deep.
Yes.
That was deep. But I hope it helped you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And
good.
Still progress.
Oh, yeah. It's an everyday thing, just like rehab.
Yes.
It's like rehab. It's an everyday thing. You just have to keep telling yourself, I'm worth it. There's a reason. I'm worth it. There's a reason. And just take one day at a time. Nobody expect miracles from you, girl. It's totally okay. Now, you're a musician. I mean, I don't know. Is it a musician or artist? I don't know how they define that.
I think it's either or, something like that.
Okay. All right. So how has that helped with your healing process, or is it just something for fun? Like, how does the music play in on it?
Yes. Honestly,
Not a light.
Oh no, you're good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, music is a part of me. It's embedded in me since all the things I went through in life. It's something I take it not even as a hobby. I take it full. It's my life. And I really feel music has really healed me, and it's a way for me to also express my own pain, my own situations, my own experiences, everything that I went through, and utilize that into my music. And people, when they hear it, they're like, whoa, they could feel it because it's raw emotions that I put in. And I feel, let me tell you something. They always say, your therapy is great, but let me tell you, besides my own therapy I go to, music is my therapy as well. And it helps me in so many ways. And it really got me into a lot of dark places out. So it's really been helpful. Yeah.
Okay. So the goal of your music is to connect with others, or is it just to release from yourself?
I think it's both in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's you're good. It's okay. It's okay. No, I think it's a mix of both, because I want people to I what was the word for it? Relate to it, and resonate for it. And then I think also it's a way for me to just take out all those I went through, or different. I talk about different things as well, but I think whatever I just want to put out there so work to hear it and be affected by it. Sorry. Yeah.
So is it? Well, they call it poetry now. They don't call it rhyming. I still call it rhyming and rapping because I guess they still call it rhyming and rapping. I don't really know. Do you do that style? Do you sing, like sing, not the jail? I went on, like I said, I was in your business. Ooh. So I had to look. I couldn't figure out, after all these years, I couldn't figure out how to upload your music with your video announcement. That's why I had sent you that message. I'm like, I bought this. I don't know how to upload it. I couldn't figure. No. What happened was when I went to upload it and share the clip with the video, it instantly said there's a copyright on it. So I couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah. So I couldn't share it, y'all.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's all right. It's always like that. Like, no. But I forgot the question. Oh my God. Yeah. Just
is it like rhyming, like your style? Is it like, do you sing? Do you poetryize? I'm making my own words. Poetry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's all good. No. The genre music I tend to do is a mix. I don't like to be like one category. So usually it's Latin, hip hop, R&B, soul, pop. So it's a little bit of everything.
Oh, you do everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And has it helped you? Has it helped you along this journey?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been amazing. And just quickly, I want to talk about this too, because on the music side, I am releasing, again, exclusive here on the show.
Tea time, be getting it out of people. Okay.
You're right though. Yes. So you guys are getting exclusive. I will be officially dropping my sixth album. It's called Brand New Me. It'll be dropping on October 30th. So nobody knows yet officially. So you guys get the first exclusive on here.
All right, Tea time, y'all know. Go out there and support Brand New Me.
A Brand New Me, yes.
A brand new. Okay, so the title is self-explanatory, but is it as simple as the title, A Brand New Me? Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, it's pretty much like a new chapter and just looking at things differently and just a whole different sound and everything. Yeah.
Okay. And as you get older, trust me, you're gonna keep getting new chapters. That's exactly how that's what happens, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so now we talked about your music. Where could they hear your music first? Let's get it to that.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys could check out all my music at all digital platforms like Pandora, Deezer, I think Apple Music, Spotify. Everywhere you just put it up. Look for Vero G. You can find me at all platforms, and it'll pop up like the albums. The list of albums I have already out. I just name a few of them. which one is called the song. I forgot. Oh my god. Victory.
I know. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Here I am. I was like, here. I was like, Trials and Tribulations. That's another one. A Christmas Time Virgin. That's another. Well, that was not really
a Christmas
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been up for a while, but yeah. She's like, wait a minute. So yeah, I have a few things out already.
Okay. All right. So anywhere music is streaming, they can find you.
Yes. Yes.
Vero G, y'all. VEROG for the radio listeners that don't see this. Is Vero G. Okay, so now we done talked about, you have more than one book. Now the book that we just talked about was your autobiography. So
yes.
You have more, I mean, like you doing it all. So let's get into this what the Spotlight Radio. Let's get, because I want to know more about that. Tell everybody a little bit more about the spot. How did that come about?
Yes. Okay, so let me just give a quick backstory to that. So how that even before that got involved, we me and my business partner Jan Pine Media, we met like over like now 7 years. You know, he's a TV producer and I also host other TV shows time to time in the past. And luckily he found me through, I think, a mutual friend of ours. Okay. And he contacted me and I was like, who's this guy? Like, what he want? So I was like, okay. So we're talking online and that sorts, and then we met up and me and him had a idea. Was like, you know what, let's do a pilot and do a show because we're here in New York City. And he was like, you know what, as me being an aspiring or recording artist, you know, let's get artists out there, local artists or worldwide, we would call it, to be seen and heard. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. So this was made, actually, this is our 7th year we did it, the Vero G Spotlight TV show, which, you know, has been amazing. We just interviewed a lot of people from New York City, of course, and then also other states as well. So it's been spreading around for a while. And prior to that, how the radio came about. So with the radio, this was like around the 3rd year we did the TV, and I was talking to him. I was like, you know what a way as an artist to also market your brand, you know, your music or whatever you're doing. I said radio. So I said, you know what, let's branch out. So that's how the Vero G Spotlight brand branched out into now not only the TV, but now the radio part. And you know, yeah, definitely. And then with that, we actually was for a while with DTF Radio for a little while with them, and then we also branched out to 9:30 a.m. I was in New York City station over there. I forget the abbreviations, but it's 9:30 a.m. with them for a little bit, and then we just branched off online for now. So we've been doing this for now, I think 4 years now. 4 years with the radio. Yeah, thank you. And it's been phenomenal to see the amount of people. We don't only interview artists, we just do like everybody from politics. We do comedians, poets. It's a bit of everything. So we just branch out, and it's been amazing.
Oh, you know what? We'll be right back. Welcome back. You know what? Listening to your platform, that sounds a little bit like Tea Time, kind of. We talk about, I've had a comedian on. Her name is Mezzy Sarah. Shout out to Mezzy D. She just she's in the city. She just did, for her birthday, she rented out a theater. And she did her first theater. Like, she's been doing comedy for a long time. She did her first theater, and she was so nervous, right? She didn't know, you build something like that, you don't know if anybody's going to come.
Right.
That place was packed. She's hilarious. Her name is Mezzy D. She's hilarious. Yeah, so it's like you mentioned, you do artists, you do comedians, you do politicians. That's Tea Time at Bunky. Just different.
Okay, I like it.
I'm telling you. And you also do the interviews, or are they all? No, you do live and virtual.
Yes. Before we used to do live, and then COVID, we had to go online, and then
like all the rest of us.
Yeah, because the COVID is like, that's a whole other story.
Right. Another monster.
Yeah, definitely. And then we went back to doing in person, but now we're just sticking to online for now for the radio.
Okay. It just seems safer to me. I don't,
right.
I do a few, but it's just like, it just seems safer to do it from the screen. Even though I like it in person, I love the energy in person. But that's pretty cool too. Now, how do you balance everything that you do? How do you do all that and still live life? Because at the end of the day, the bills still got to get paid. You still got to eat. And so how do you do all of that? The writing, the singing, the radio. Is it podcast, TV show? What? Because you're live, you do this. So when they go to YouTube, they see you. So is it like a podcast or is it a talk show? Because I'm like now a talk show. They like it,
right.
It seems the same to me. Like,
it's kind of something like that. Yeah, right. No, honestly, right now, how I balance everything else, I think I do take time for myself. I do. I have to like always focus first, family and personal things first. But I always try, and it's not always perfect though, but I always try to take time and then also jump on like the schedule. Like if I got something this week or I got something, I got to balance that out with my personal life. So it's a lot, but I do try at time. And someone asked me like, how do you sleep? I said, I mean, look, when I pass out, that's when I sleep. That's about it. But with the thing you mentioned, it's kind of like you could think a podcast thing because it's like online for now.
Right.
But we do also do in person, but that's like for TV. That's not the radio separate with that. But yeah, but we it's like this, like, just talking and
right.
all that.
Okay, because I've been trying to figure it out on my end too. I'm like, okay, so what are you? Because I talk to myself. I'm like, what is going on? Hey, Gabe, that's one of the villagers right there.
I was just on the show too. Oh, big shout out to him. Yeah,
you on Gabe's show?
Yeah, Finally TV. Yeah, I was on the show. Yeah,
that's my my village brother.
Small world. Look at that.
Tiny. Look at that. So then I was going to ask you, how did you come across Tea Time with Bunky? Because honestly, in my mind, I'm like nobody knows I'm there, but apparently people know. Yeah.
Right. No. So how it came about was I was on Facebook one day and something told me to scroll. So I was scrolling and I was looking for places, just to see how I could promote, my story and also what things I'm doing. And I came across your page on Facebook, and I was like, I checked it out. I was like, really nice. I like it. I was like, let me just contact.
You did. And I was like, but you got to be careful. You're like,
right.
And I don't know who they are. I don't, but that's how we connect with people and tell everybody's stories. So I appreciate so much you reaching out to me, because I would have never, no one would have ever known. Well, my people know your story, but just get it out there more. But what keeps you motivated to share your story and help others? Because that's a lot. You have to dig deep. You're constantly ripping the scab off that wound every time you tell your story. So what motivates you to do that?
I think it's not even for myself, honestly, to say it, but I think it's more for everyone to hear it. And I think the testimony itself is going to be validation to let people know that first, God does exist, because if God wasn't here, I wouldn't be here right now talking.
You sure wouldn't.
Oh yeah. Second of all, I think is the fact that I want people to know that, like you mentioned before, you're not alone. Other people that you may not even know have gone through something similar or worse. Right. But they're here for a reason. I think my testimony alone, and anybody's for that matter, could be a moving situation for them in their life to better their lifestyle or just inspire them, And I think overall, I just want people to know that no matter what in life, you could pursue anything that you want, even no matter how old you are. Doesn't matter. If you have something in this world you want to give to the world to be heard or seen or whatever, give it a shot. What you got to lose?
Perfect. Yeah, nobody. like I said, you keep evolving all the time. Like you're always there's always a new chapter in your life. Yes. I started this chapter. a little after I turned 50.
Oh yeah.
I started this chapter. So it's like, and we're going on April, will be 4 years, you know.
Oh
Who
my
would
God.
have thought? Yeah, who, if you knew me back then, you know that I am not that person. I don't talk to people. I stay to myself, you know, but God had a bigger plan
Yes.
than what my little mind could conceive, you know. And everything I went through and going through and go through, it's for the better, greater good, even though I don't want to go through it, you know. But you find that your story helps so many people. You don't know how many people, we don't know how many women are going to hear your story and be like, okay, let me get out of this situation now, because
Yes.
all it's going to take is one more punch. And I came across someone in real life that was in a DV situation. And I asked her, I said, well, she left for that moment, but now she's back in it. But I was like, what was it? What happened in that moment? And she was like, most people call me by my real name outside. Well, no, they don't. Most people call me Bunky. It depends on where we are.
Right.
It depends on what level we on. You know, most people I'm Bunky. Other people I'm Kanitha. And she was like, he started choking me and I almost blacked out.
Oh my God.
What? So you and she said he stopped. So if something didn't click in his head, you wouldn't be here today.
Right. He would have killed her.
Totally. And the fact that she's back with him now, I mean, she called the police. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And like her rationale was, I'm a forgiving person. Yeah, but he's going to take you out. There's not that much forgiveness in the world. And
Right.
I think there comes a point where you have to choose you first, because there's nothing you can do for him.
It's true.
I'm going to take a real one,
Okay.
little commercial thing. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, this is Bunky from Tea Time with Bunky Podcast Radio. I'm inviting you to tune in to Tea Time with Bunky every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for enlightening discussions, empowering stories, and dialogues. Trust me, you want to hear them. On Tea Time with Bunky, no conversation is too big, no conversation is too small. We have conversations from inspiring stories of triumph and survivor tales to discussion on politics, promoting your local businesses, and exploring everyday life topics. Trust me, this podcast is your safe space for open dialogue, healing, and self-discovery. Doesn't get any more real than having a hot flash. Hello, the fan. So I invite you to tune in on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these conversations that matter most to you. I will see you there. And welcome back. Yeah, every now and again I gotta remind people, yeah, them hot flashes be hitting. But
Yeah.
I had a whole show on that. I had an in-studio audience 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. I had it was amazing. But yeah, life's journeys. Empowering advocacy. Yeah. What advice would you give others who are going through similar experiences and feel like there's no way out? Because I think, thank God, by God's grace, I never went through that. But from the story I'm hearing, it feels like that's just the feeling that people in DV situations get, like there's no way out.
Right.
Because that your partner played such, I mean, they beat it down in you that nobody's going to want you, nobody's going to help you, and all that. So you feel trapped in that situation. So what would you tell someone who is currently in a situation like that, or have just gotten out of it and thinking they need to go back because they may be homeless, they don't have anything to eat? Like, what would you tell someone in that situation?
I think every situation is a little delicate, but for the most part, my advice for anybody who's in that situation, I think, is first think about yourself. Because if you went through all those situations with that partner, or for anybody, and it hasn't worked out, and they're still with that same pattern, they're not going to stop until they make that change. So for that moment, that person has to think about, for once, themselves. Do I want to, first of all, let's keep it real what it is. Do I want to live? Because if you want to go back to that person, there's a chance you could be a statistic. There's a chance that you could end up being dead.
Right.
So think about first yourself. If you have kids, think about your kids. Think about those who will miss you if you get to that point, back to that person's hands. Secondly, I think the best thing is you have a great support team, people that are not going to judge them, but people that are going to help them and get out that situation safely. Third is, of course, I know people say the shelter system is horrible. I heard stories, which here is the worst. But I think for the moment, temporarily, it's safer to be somewhere that you're already protected in the shelter system instead of being in that person's home or being in the street, because being in the street is not safe as it is, especially for a woman out there, and or if she's with her kids, it's the worst. So I would say those three things are very crucial. And fourth is take time when everything is done and you finally get your life back together and get the help that you need. And it's not just, okay, I got over on him and I'm gonna get hot with another man, another female. No, you need to take time to heal your wounds and go get mental health help. There's nothing wrong by doing that, because what you're doing is now, you're breaking that cycle. You're breaking that pattern of like, wait, now if I take time to really love myself and take time to focus on my own mental health, my well-being, then I will never step foot in a relationship with a man or woman who's going to mistreat me and think it's acceptable. That's why I think how we're going to break that cycle.
And that was powerful just now, what you said. And you said something there I was going to ask you about your support system. What does your support system look like?
For the most part, what I went through this past years, and then even just recently with that situation, I appreciate now those who really take the time, the initiative to check on me or see how I'm doing. So I do have, and one thing about me, I'm very big into small circles. Right. Having people that you can rely on anytime that are going to check on you, talk, how you guys doing, all that sorts. So for my situation, my support system is very small, which I love it, because I get to know who's there for me, and I'm there for them.
They're genuine. Who's in your circle.
Right. Definitely. So I think right now it's good, and I'm just going to keep it that way, and I think it helps my mental health well-being as well with that.
I mean, if it's not broke, there's no need to try to fix it, right? Like that.
Right.
Everybody doesn't need to be in your circle. Like, you can love them from a distance. You got to have your core group of people. Yeah, and it's okay. Don't feel bad, and people feel bad sometimes. People are in your life for a reason and a season.
Oh yes, there we go.
It's okay. It's okay, and that's friends and family. Like you talked about, how you had an outing with your family after the passing of your mom, which is it's crazy to me when people, especially family, put the people on social media. Y'all stop doing that.
It's petty. It's unnecessary. Yeah.
And what it can do too, if someone's going through a mental health issue, right? They're going through a dark time. And somebody put something crazy on Facebook or Instagram or something that's social media. And then you have outsiders who aren't connected to that situation, people that aren't family or whatever. And everybody's commenting and adding fuel to that fire. They don't know the damage that is doing to the person it was targeted at. Not just that you're putting your business out there on social media and you look crazy for doing it, but the damage that is doing to the person that it was targeted to, and then they're going to come at you. Oh, well, I didn't mean it that way. Yes, you did, because you put it on social media. So that's just my little spiel to those internet people that want to put all your business out there. I can't stand it. Was the different what are they? The different platforms, not businesses. You know what I mean? Like those things out there for women that are going through DV situations, county things, city things. Like, did you utilize those the resources? That's it. Did you utilize those resources?
At one time I did look into it. I did, and I did go through when I was with my son's father years ago. I did go through the courts. That did help a bit with the order protection, temporary order protection, that sorts. Luckily I didn't went to a shelter system. I didn't use that. I didn't get therapy and all that stuff. I just felt like it wasn't the right time. I just focusing on just raising my kid and finishing school and that. So I was focusing on that. But later on now, all these years now, I'm finally getting but for the most part, therapy in that, which is really fundamental for me right now.
Right. Well, you weren't ready. Like, people go to therapy. Like, I went when I first started going to therapy. I went just because I thought it was the right thing to do, but I didn't tell the therapist anything. So it was just a waste of time and a waste of money. Like,
oh, wow.
So, yeah, people go to therapy when they're ready. That's the time to go, when you're ready to be honest with yourself, because you have to be honest with you. Now, your son's father, has he sought out any counseling, anything? Has he? Wait a minute. Wait before. This will be real. This will be real quick. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Okay. I know, right? Like, Roadrunner. Did he seek out any? Because at the end of the day, we want him to be healed too, because that's a sickness.
It is.
Have you guys talked about it? Because you do parent a young man now.
Right. I think I never really had the initiative to talk with him with that, because I felt like I've been through enough with him with that ordeal many years ago.
Yeah, so I'm not saying, but the people out there, don't come for me. I'm not telling her that she has to talk to her abuser. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like you said, that y'all were in a better space than you were at that. So that's why I asked the question, y'all. So no, because they're coming. You're trying to make her talk to
like,
no, that's not what I'm saying. I was just saying,
okay,
that's not it. But okay, so you don't know that. Has he ever apologized?
What's the funniest thing? I all these years, and I mentioned that to my my significant other. They were talking about that, and believe it or not, he's never really apologized to me. He's that type of person where he feel like what he did was in his own world the right, and it's just life. So I came to realize now, after all these years of what I went through with him, I had to be the better person and move on from it. And I think there's a thing called karma with people like that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
People don't believe in it. But the seeds that you plant that's what you're gonna grow. And
so
maybe more thorny.
Oh yeah, that's why I said, I with people like that in my life who are not supposed to be in my life, or what the case may be, leave it to God. He will deal with it.
What? And you know what? Let me tell you something. I've seen a situation where, my grandmother used to say, leave it in God's hands, leave it. They were like, put it in his hands and don't take it back out. Because, we have a habit of giving it to him and taking it back, right?
Yes.
And there was a situation that I had to leave in God's hands. And I never thought that I would see the karma in my life, right? I never thought I would see. Girl, when I tell you God's karma is worse than any karma we can give anybody, I felt bad.
Ooh.
I felt bad. And I'm like, Lord, do they have to go through that? It's like,
yes.
But they say, he said, I don't know what scripture, but it's in there because I'm not a Bible quoter, but I know in there it says, he says, be still and know that I am God. And when I say he did that thing, I said, oh my God. Like, it was pretty bad. It was, and traumatizing, to say the least, for the other person. Traumatizing. But God is such a God that when he does something, what that person put you through, little parts of it is going to mirror out of what that person is going through. And that's why you're going to be like, oh my God. You're going to feel bad for the person. It's like, and you can't not feel bad for the person. So That's
Right.
I'm just saying, you guys that don't believe in karma, listen, you better treat your neighbor right. That's why I try to treat my neighbor right.
Yeah.
Treat people right. I can't. Oh, it's crazy.
Yes.
Uh, but okay, so we got a few more minutes, but the closing, we're gonna get on the closing part. So I gave you a bit of information. I'm gonna be sending it after the show. Um, what are some future projects you guys are working on?
Yes. So as we speak, we actually have the second annual Vero G Awards. We're
Oh
trying to.
yeah, I wait a minute. I have is that the awards? The vote? Yep, yep. There we go. The free
Oh,
awards, the vote. Okay,
oh
what
no.
is that?
Okay. That's something separate. Okay. So this one.
Oh,
All right. So no, it's good. It's okay. So with this, voting is still opening right now. You can vote each day. I think we're nominated for 3 categories. One is for B Free Awards, and one is for B documentary for the documentary we did for my child who had passed away. Well, it's called Gone Too Soon, and you
you
can
did a
definitely.
documentary?
Yes.
You did your movies too? God,
Yeah.
dog.
She's like, wait.
Got a lot going on. Okay, gone too soon.
Yes. So that's on that category for beat documentary. And then the other one is, I think it's something with podcast something. So that's for the radio show. Also we have another category we're actually nominating for social media, social impact. That's the community work we also do as well, alongside with everything. So yeah, you guys can vote for us. It's I think I sent the link to you so you guys can share it. Please vote for us. Voting I think ends about the end of the month or November. And we're just trying to see, what happens, what comes out of it. But prior to that, we also have our own award show. We did it last year, the first annual award show for the Vero G Awards. And it was a great turnout. So we're doing it this year. We're going to finalize everything. And we already have the finalists already, everything's situated. So we're going to just figure that out in due time. Prior to that, I also have openings
But
for the
wait. Wait, what are the Vero G? What are they? What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Vero G Awards, it's pretty much an award show for artists that we've seen the work ethic. We've seen for the past year their music, what they've been doing, their involvement in their industry, the artistry. Forgive me.
Okay.
That's prior to that, and then we also have prior to that we had a last year. I don't know about this year, but last year we did also for people in the community that we've seen that done like great work for the community and other things categories. So. This year, we're just focusing on the music side, but we may extend it more for categories for next year. We'll see.
Yeah. You got a lot going on. You have a lot going on.
No, I have to stay busy. I gotta stay busy.
Yeah, do you sleep at all? Do you?
Yeah, that's why. No, usually when my eyes I pass out sometimes. So when like the TV sees me and I see it and it's like, yeah, that's when I go sleep.
That's too much. You need to go to bed. You need to set. I used to be in bed, no lie, by 9 o'clock.
Oh wow!
Every night. But then the TV thing started, and now I'm up like 11:30, 12 o'clock, and my body is not happy with this. My body is not happy. It's like you need to be in bed and stop playing these games. So you have a lot going, but you know what, you're doing good things. These are all good, great things. So thank you for giving back to your community. And for people that don't know, what's your community? Where are you located?
Yes. So right now we're based in New York City. Well, they call it Alphabet City or East Village. But it's like downtown Manhattan pretty much. And
Alphabet City?
Yeah, like Lower East Side, East Village. It's pretty much like downtown. Yeah, downtown.
Okay,
and
I'm not a city person, so I have no idea what
you're good. It's all right. It's okay. But yeah, that's where we are based out of right now. And we just love that's my big passion for me is the community work, giving back. That's the main thing for that.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Go ahead. You turn that pain.
Yes.
You turn that pain around, girl. You did that thing with God's help, of course, but you had to be willing to listen to him and do it, because you could have been You could have been giving him the business, but you listened, and he's totally going to reward you.
Amen.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got so much. I don't know. Now you have those coming up. Do you have any upcoming books, albums, creative ventures we should be excited about? You said yes, but you look. Wait a second. Let's.
Okay.
Wait. We'll be right back. And we'll come back.
Oh shoot, it's okay.
Oh wait,
we can back again.
What? That was an extra one.
Wait, that was two. I don't mind.
Yeah, that was total accident. That's slip of the finger. Okay, so now let's get into what you have going on. It's too much.
Oh my goodness.
See, this is what happens when your body's used to being in bed by 9, and then it just has you all messed up. You don't know what's going on. So.
Oh my goodness, I can't. I can't. No, yeah, okay, so yes, projects. So you guys got the exclusive today.
Yes.
The album, the 6th album, which is called Brand New Me, will be dropping on October 30th of this year, and I think has like 10 songs in there or so. And I'm just extremely excited.
So these are real full albums. This isn't like one. Good Lord.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's coming out. I'm excited when when it gets out. I'll definitely share with you and everyone. You can share.
Yes, and I'll share it. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And then okay, so that's that. Yeah, no problem. I am working on maybe one book for now because I was planning on doing 2 books, but just everything was happening recently. I just said maybe I'll do 1 book for now by the end of the year, and then maybe release it by then or by next year. So it gives me time to put it together. This one I'm not for sure I had a title for it, but I'm gonna see which one's the best one to put out. So I'll let you guys know when it gets out. And that so that's in the works. Prior to that, the Vero Awards, we're looking to doing that sometime soon this year. And we'll figure out where and all that. So we'll finalize that. And then prior to all that, we're also doing a toy drive this year. We're going to find a location for that. So we'll I'll let you know of anything. And we had a great turnout last year. We did it at our location, the TV studio, and we're going to do it somewhere else. So we're able to have more people come and get toys and that sort of before Christmas. So that's really cool. And then I'm just promoting. I got a new single also, which I will share. I'm actually a feature on it with artist MCV. Big shout out to him. And it's called Keep Moving. It's out now on all digital platforms. You guys can check that out. Actually, my other songs, City on Fire with artists Free Styles and myself. You guys can check that out. Another song, big shout out to Black Diamond. She's a part of our management. So that song we did together, My Way, is out now. It's a very sexual song, just heads up. So then you guys know there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Okay. And she's like, oh my God. And big shout out to the lyrics. We did a couple of songs before. Bunky Dreams, that's one of them. On My Way. The list goes on of songs we've done together. There's all on our platforms, so you can check that out. So there's a lot more things I'm working on. But this one, yeah.
I'm tired just listening to you. I'm like, crazy. You have so my God, girl.
Say, oh my.
Yeah, I know that's how just listening to you is like, I'm like, she's rushing to get all this wrapped up, but I'm like, I'm missing some of it. I'm trying to write it down. And so you have the Vero Awards coming up.
Yes.
You have Brand New Me coming out on October 30th.
Yes.
October 30th. You were going to be working on 2 books, but you decided to cut it down to 1.
Right.
Cut it down to 1. You're doing the toy drive for Christmas.
Yes.
You have a single that just came out with Diamond.
Oh, Black Diamond.
Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. And there was a reason why. God didn't allow your story to end when you wanted it to.
I do want to add something, which I can't take it. I don't want to take it out, but I just want to put it out there so people know that my story is not just inspirational, but I want people to know that God sees you for a reason and the purpose you're doing. I just received last year the President Lifetime Achievement Award for the community work we've been doing, and then the work alone. You know, my management, my producer, you know, whatever we do, my business partner. And God is good. This is why I want people to know the blessings that are coming when you do good by God, and when you do good for people, and you have a genuine heart. And no matter what you're going through in life, these are just the blessings that come along with it. So I just wanted to throw that in there so people know that.
Well, listen, that's a big throw-in. Congratulations.
Thank you, Melo. Thank you.
On that achievement. Like, wow, that's not a final, let me get this in. That's a big, giant thing.
Thank you. No, I was like flabbergasted.
Yeah, they see you where you are. They see you, because you wouldn't have gotten this award if they didn't see you. Now, who would have thought? I'm sure you wouldn't have thought it. I'm sure.
I was shocked and I was crying like, huh? What?
I bet. Because you know why? You know why it's so great to see this happen for you, because I can see how genuine you are about it. You're not doing these things just for a light. Like, look at me, look at me, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing. You're just doing what you feel. You're trying to fit the need that needs to be met.
Yes.
Genuinely, humbly, which makes the world of difference. And that's why people see you, because you don't see you. It's amazing. Girl, I can't wait to see. Listen, when you get big, don't forget about little tea time.
I got you, girl. Yes.
Don't forget about tea time. Be like, you know, I gave her 3 exclusive drops on my show about what I was going through that nobody else knew. See, that's the power of tea time. Tea time will get you to tell stuff you didn't mean to tell.
Right, you know, exactly.
I wasn't planning on. Okay. Yeah, this was a really good conversation as we get ready to wrap it up. Let the people know where they can find you, the times they can find you, all that good stuff. Listen, talk slower so they can write it down. And remember, this is radio also. So for the people that don't see it, that need to hear it in over 200 countries.
Okay.
Where can they find you?
Not a problem. Okay, so you guys could follow me. My social media, Instagram is @official Vero G. You guys could follow my Facebook artist page, which is @VERO 2884. You guys could follow my website, which is www.verogmusic.com. You guys go. I don't really be on Twitter too much, but you know, if you want to check it out, it's VERO 2884. You guys also check out. I have Facebook pages also, and Instagram pages of like the radio, the magazine, and like other stuff.
Wait, you got a magazine?
Yeah. I'll tell you, that's why I'm always working. I got to.
Girl, you got too much going on for me. Oh
my god. No, I love it. But yeah, you guys could definitely check it out. Just look at my website, everything's there. And then on my Instagram, if you guys want to check out like the magazine, it's available at www.magcloud.com. Just type up Vero G Spotlight Magazine. You see all the issues, all the past like magazines and all that. And then actually the October issue is the cover is the domestic violence awareness one, and it's like a hand on or something. That is the newest edition, so you could check that out. And yeah, like the radio, you guys could check it out on www.WhosNextNYC.com. You can check out there, like all the stuff we have there, you know, interviews and all that. And also my YouTube channel, which is Vero G Spotlight Network. You can check out all my music videos, music, everything's in one. So, and all past episodes, I have shows, TV, radio and all that. So, and then also the audio, but besides the website, we also have it on, I think, like Spreaker they call it .com or something, where it's you can hear it on like Apple Music, I was like Apple Podcast or something. We call that Apple
Radio.
Yeah, no, it's like when you go on Apple and then you go look for podcasts and you can just type it up. Yeah, like the podcast stuff, you can put it there, look it up, look us up there, and we're also on Spotify for the audio version of it. So definitely just check it out. Yeah.
You are everywhere. Now just type in Vero, VEROG, period, and you will find her. Basically, that's it. This has been an amazing conversation. I appreciate you. Listen, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Everybody, make sure you go follow her. She gave you all the information. It's a lot. She's everywhere. God bless you so much. God bless you. Make sure you guys tune into Political Tuesday on Tuesday, Tea Time with Bunky. And next week, my guest is Vinci Shakur, artist Vinci Shakur. He's amazing. He's amazing. So he's on next week. I appreciate you all so much. Like, share, follow, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell a friend. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky on the DuPont Network. You guys, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as well. The place where all your stories are told and shared. And it's a safe space. It's a safe space. So I appreciate you all. And I will catch y'all Tuesday, Political Tuesday, or Thursday.